Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are going to do a gameplay review today on Blocklords. This is a Polygon Blockchain game. Again, I'm trying to do a whole bunch of these since I'm getting familiar with the blockchain, so you're going to see a bunch of them. This one kind of jumped out at me because it's super interesting. I think you'll agree with me once we start going through the details of it. But it reminds me like another one of the fantasy RPG. In this style, you actually own your farm and you can take over regions, and there's going to be battles and a whole bunch of stuff down the road. But right now it isn't. I feel like it's in beta. I don't know officially what version it's in right now, but it's still in the early process. It's relatively cheap to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead. Since I said that, go ahead and do the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't just take my word for it. Make sure it's right for your situation. All right, now that I said that, it is very reasonable to go ahead and get started. The Mantic, you just need one hero to go ahead and jump in. You can actually play like the first 5 or 10 minutes without a hero until you get that point in the tutorial. And then it's just one hero, which costs roughly between 3 and 4 Mantic if you go with a low end. Obviously, there's higher end ones that you can go ahead and grab also. But if you want to just test it out, it's 3 Mantic, which is roughly at the time of the recording exchanged for about around $3. So it's reasonable to get started, but let's go ahead and talk through it. I'm going to show you the website quickly, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the game. I've been playing for a few days now, just kind of get a better idea of it and walk you through the details, at least what's available right now. Again, it's very early in the stage. So we'll go ahead and probably do follow-up videos to this one also. Like I said, it's medieval style, medieval time frame, where you go ahead and you start out with your own farm, and you start building up your farm and earning different resources and different buildings within your farm. And then you go ahead and you can build out. Let me scroll over here. It looks like this as far as your farm goes, and I'll show you the actual gameplay itself. It has battles that are going to be available down the road where you can go ahead and raid other people's farms. It's a huge, it's an interesting style game because it combines the farming and the owning your own land, and then going ahead and trying to conquer the not only the region but other regions will be available down the road. So it's super interesting that way. Right now, as far as what's all available, at least what I've tested so far, is the farm side of it. You're building up your own farm. You're making sure the resources are flowing. It's a very, very resource strategy style game. And it's pretty intense as far as if you've seen my other videos like Realm on the Wax blockchain, is resource intensive, but it's a little more laid back. It's a little more grindy. This one is you have to keep going. So it does make it fun. So let's go ahead. If you go, I'll have the link to the website in the description down below. You can go ahead and check it out, check out their white paper and go through all those details. It is a downloadable client, so you cannot play this on a website. You do need to download the client. So please be aware of that. And then you'll have to go ahead and stake your hero once you get to that point in the tutorial. The nice thing about this game is it completely walks you through a tutorial to start. There's very few games on the blockchain that do a full Web 2.0 style tutorial when you're jumping in there. This literally walks you through all that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to jump over to the game itself, and we'll go ahead and play for a little bit. When you first jump into the game, you do have to go ahead and create an account. I already have mine created. I already logged in, so I'm good to go. You can see, yeah, we're down here. It's 0.1.1.1. So we're still in beta. So we're still very early in the game. So there's going to be a lot of development that goes along with it. But there's quite a bit in there to keep you entertained, at least initially, until they continue to put more features in there. So when you go ahead and launch the game, you will have the opportunity to pick a number out of a number of different regions. You can just go ahead and click on them, and it's going to show all the resources. It's going to show that whether it has a person in charge already, the tax policies that may go along with it. You can go ahead and just check out different regions as far as the tax goes. I picked this region, and part of it was because there's no taxes right now. And then part of it was also, it wasn't overpopulated. So all the resources weren't getting churned up right away. I'm not sure if that was the right decision. Again, I'm just testing it out and jumping in there. But this is the region I did pick. So come on over and join me if you go ahead and play. And you can see once you select it, you can switch to different regions if you want to, but it does cost 100 gold, and we'll show the 100 gold as we jump in there. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this region right here and go down to back to farm. I've already been playing this. I've already been through the tutorial. So you're going to see I'm already established as far as the land itself goes. When you first come into the screen, on the top, you're going to see all your different resources that you have available. On the left side, you're going to see what they're calling squads. These are the different groups that are going to help you throughout the different adventures, I guess you say, as you're producing. If you click on the hero tab, I do have 2 heroes. Again, I'm still debating whether I'm going to expand to more heroes or not. I want to continue to play this a little bit further before I do that. There's all different types of squads. Jumping back to the squad tab, you get miners, builders, villagers, lumberjacks, cooks, hunters, all different sizes, not sizes, but different types. And as you go through the tutorial, it's going to walk you through each of these and building each of these buildings. You essentially just start out with this foreman house and a squad of villagers. You do a few items with there. You run some, I guess you finish a few missions, I guess you could say, quests, however you want to call it. And then when you do that, you go ahead and you continue down the line and walks you all the way through building out all the buildings, the farms, the hunting lands, the mines, and all that sort of stuff. So it'll walk you through all those details, but we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. You can see the tax rate up here. You can see how many farm plots that I have right now, which I only have 1. If you look on the other side, you have a menu, which we'll get to here in a second. You have seasonal missions, which is great because you continue. It's like a battle pass, I guess you could call it, but it's free. You don't have to actually pay for it. So you can go ahead and work through these different missions and get different resources all the way down to get actually an exalted, basically another hero that you can use in the future. And all you have to do is go through and complete these quests. You can see I'm not super far with it, but it did take me about 2 days to get to there. So it does take a little bit of work. It does take a little bit of grinding. And then up on the top here, you have the game settings, which we're not going to cover in too much detail, and support if you need support. Before we walk through actually how to play the game here, let me show you a few of the other areas that they have available. If you go down here and click on the kingdom, you're going to go over basically to the city hall or the marketplace, and you have a couple different options right now. And as your region grows and more resources go to your region, these levels will go up. So it may not have been the right choice to go ahead and select an outside branch that has not a lot of people or not a lot of population, because it's going to take a lot longer for me to level these. I'm still torn. I may move to one of the more populated areas, but we'll see. We'll see as I keep playing. There's the city hall, which you have the tax policies and all that. You can go ahead back. City coffer, where you can go ahead and pretty much put items in here. And then claim. Let's go ahead and see if I can claim this. No, I still got 4 hours before I'm able to claim. I'm not the ruler. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. I knew I wasn't the ruler. I'm only playing a few days. And then this is actually the region or the area you're going to actually use in this area, or in the city hall, town hall, whatever you want to call it. This is the marketplace. You can go here and exchange different resources that you produce for gold. Right now, what I'll go ahead and do just to show you is I have an excess of food. I've been able to really produce that pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and sell 10 lots of these, basically 48 food for 10 gold. And then if you do it 10 times, I'll go ahead and get 100 gold out of this. So we'll go ahead and exchange that. And then that's how you get gold. And gold is used for a number of different things throughout the game, including getting additional squads that you may need. And you can go ahead and use that, or you can go ahead and use gold and buy different items. Say I need a whole bunch of stone in order to build another house, and I'm just struggling to get it, and go ahead here and buy it and go that route. So you can kind of level out some of the resources that you may be struggling to get. For example, tools. 1 tool for 1 gold. Not sure I like that price. I'd rather just go ahead and grab a builder squad, but we'll get into that here in a second. But this is the town, and again, we're still early on, so a lot of these have not opened yet. Plus, I'm not super high, so let's go ahead back to my farm. And once we're back here, I want to show you one more area before I actually show you how we're going to go ahead and do some of these. This little center button here, this is basically, it's kind of like your level as you're going through. It's your ranking, it's your status, however you want to call it. And as you're going up, you start out with 0 stars in the unknown stage. Basically, you're an unknown in the region, so people don't know about you. And as you go through the different ones, you get access to different buildings as you go up through. And again, this all goes through the tutorial and shows you as you're going up these different stars in the tutorial, different rare events and things like that. And it costs these little trophies that you have up here, which you get from the quests that you run. The one thing I do have to note is once you get to established, there's really not much difference as far as the features go. I'm assuming in future feature rollouts and things like that, you'll have more items that you unlock as you go up. And you can see right now I'm in the quote unquote notorious, in the 0-star notorious. So at least people are aware of me. So we'll see what happens going forward. In most regions, as you go up in the ranking, there is taxes. So you will have to start paying different taxes as you're going up to a higher status. All right, so let's go ahead and actually show different parts. I'll get to this little exclamation point here in a second, but you're going to see along the side here, I have a whole bunch of different squads. Some of them are at rest, some of them are not. What I normally do is I go down the list and just do different people. We'll start with the farms here. You see this farm actually is ready to be harvested, and this one is ready for the wheat or the seed to be sown for there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the farmer. We're going to go ahead and see down in the bar here, it gives you the options for each of the farmers. You can add a hero to them if you want to, or you can just go ahead and do the different items. We're going to go ahead and harvest this wheat. So you click on the harvest button and you click on that. And so that sends the group there to go ahead and harvest. Every time you use your people, they're going to go ahead and use resources. So the next thing I'm going to do, because one of the main resources is tools and I'm getting low on tools. So I'm going to go ahead here to this exclamation point, because every now and then you're going to have the exclamation point basically shows that there is an issue or a decision that you have to make within the game. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the exclamation point here on the right side, and it takes you there, and it's going to show you this little graphic that's going on there. Basically, you need to make a decision. They found a new technique. We can either go and try it for 400 stone, and if it works, you get a reward, or you can go ahead and just continue as usual and see what happens there. I'm going to go ahead, just for the sake of this video, it's going to cost me 400 stone to try this out. If I'm successful, I'll get a reward from it. If I'm not, I lose 400 stone, but that's fine. I got extra. So it looks like it was successful. So I got 10 of the trophies. So I get a little closer to the next ranking, and exactly what I needed. I needed tools. So I went ahead and got 100 tools out of that. So we are actually good to go. That helped out quite a bit. Just to be honest with you, I'm surprised. Sometimes it does not go your way. But if you do have a hero in there, you can see I have a hero down here. Oops, I don't want. It gives you a little bit of a bonus as far as the decisions and your chance of success. So that's where I put one of my builders, because he just happened to be, is this guy, he just happened to be good at building. As you can see by this icon. My other hero right here is good at mining. So I put him with the miners, and they're getting the stone that helps me build throughout this process. Jumping back to the squads, if you see that if you look at this squad right here, it shows that I'm at rest. They're the villagers, and there are 0 out of 10 energy. So what this squad needs is I need to rest them and feed them. So to do that, you go ahead and click on that. It's going to zoom over to where they're standing, and you have the options down here, and one of them is recover. And to recover, it's going to cost you the food, which you'll see up here. That just happens to be the thing that I sold at the market. And then you can go ahead and select any of these buildings to go ahead and rest them at. They'll rest, they'll eat. So use these resources, and I'll take them all the way back up to 10 energy, and we can go ahead and use them again. So again, the builders right here are also in the same situation. So let's go ahead and rest them. I'm going to quick zoom through, see my hunters are in the same situation. So what I tend to do every now and then is go through to see who is out of energy and fill them back up. I have plenty of food right now, so it's not a big deal. But what I am going to do is, if you look at the top here, the resources that are up here, you have wood and stone. Those are used for building buildings. Tools are used by every single squad, whether they are mining, whether they are farming, or whether they are doing anything like cooking food. So they're going to use tools. So you have to make sure that that is high enough as you're going through. Food, like I just said, as part of the recovery. Wheat comes from these farms. So let's go ahead and as I'm here, let's go ahead and plant some seeds just to get that going. And you can select different types of wheat. There's free wheat that basically is the lowest end, and then you can pay gold and other things to go ahead and get higher wheat, which gives you more production. I should say higher seeds, which gives you more wheat out of it. So we're going ahead and doing that. I'm going to sow this field too, or grow this field, put the seeds down there. And if you click on these, this is what I'm talking about. You can actually go ahead and change the type of wheat seed that you use, the tools that you use, and the watering that you use. And as you go up in rarity of those, it's going to give you a better production. So I'm just using the free stuff because I'm relatively new here. As you're going across here, wheat turns into grain by using your cooks and going ahead and use this, make grain, and it comes from your windmill. Basically, it'll be, I think, yeah, it's 50 of the wheat turns into 20 bags of grain. Grain can be used for directly going into making food, or it can be used for baking bread. It can also be used for your cow field or your cow stables over here. You can see I have another one of those exclamation points. So let's go ahead and click on that. I got to make another decision. I don't know why this guy is so happy with sheep, but we have a choice of we can just let it go. Most likely that ends up bad. You can go ahead and use 30 tools. I got plenty of tools, so we might use that to try that out to banish him. Or we can just make a lamb. So we can cook it with 40 tools. Let's go ahead and banish this individual. I haven't tried this one yet. It's going to cost me some tools. And there he goes. He is gone and actually earned me 400 wood and 300 stone just for banishing him for being a not very nice person. So now if you look back over here, the villagers that we sent for recovery, they are fully recovered. So we're going to go ahead and click on them because we got to put them back into working. So they have the option, the villagers have the option of picking wood. They can go ahead and pick stone, or they can pick fruit, which creates food for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have them pick wood. So you click on that and you click on the forest over here, and they're going to go out there and they're going to grab wood and continue to build up the wood here. I have builders now, so I can go ahead and click on here for builders, and I can either build another structure if I want to. I have all these already built. So I'm not going to build anything right now. I'm just scrolling through. We actually, forges, that's where you make the tools. You have the mines and the granary. So we're not actually going to do that. I'm just going to make more tools, just so I have a good stock of tools. So let's go ahead and send them there. It's going to cost me 55 wood and 40 stone for every 10 tools. So that'll go ahead and bump them up there. My lumberjack is for some reason resting, and I'm not sure why, but we'll put him back to work. My miners are rested up, so they're going to go ahead and go back to the mine. And then we'll go ahead and harvest this grain. And this is essentially what you're going to do right now, is try and build up your farm to have the best production possible. And you see what I meant by it just continues to go and go and go. So now I'm going to go ahead. I have milk and I have wheat. So let's go ahead and have the cook make some. Oh, I can't make bread. She doesn't have enough energy. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and rest them. So I can get more energy. My hunter's at rest, so let's go ahead and send him out to get some more meat. And again, you have cow pens here, and I used all my cows. They have a 4-year lifespan. So let's go ahead and grab new cows. I'm going to go ahead and try the top level brown cow is going to give me the most milk. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then it has basically 5 seasons of yield. And we'll go ahead and use the basic grain, which is probably not the best bet, but we'll do that. And then now I have cows here, so I can send my cow herd to go ahead and feed those cows so they are ready to get milked. So he is going ahead and working on that. Our farmers are at rest, so let's go ahead and do the seeds again. And again, this is what we do. And the more and more you do this, the more of these rewards you go ahead and get. You see, I was able to spend 200 or 2,200 wood, claim it, and it's basically a resource game that you're trying to build up. As you continue to go through this, it will reset here as far as the community, the beta, as you can see we're in. Down the road, and let me quick switch back over to the website so I can show you that. Down the road, you're going to have a lot more options as far as the battling goes. I'm really curious to see how they're going to do the raids and the battling. I'm assuming it's going to be region against region, or maybe it'll even just be farm against farm, so you can try and take over the region. I'm not sure how it's going to work completely yet, but it's interesting. It's the different levels. I'm hoping they continue to work on this. I'm going to keep an eye on it. When more features come out, I'll go ahead and do additional videos. I just wanted to show you a quick look at what's currently in the Blocklords game that's on the Polygon blockchain. I encourage you to check it out if you like that style of game. At least take a look to see if it's right for your situation. One hero is only 3 mantic, and you only need one hero to really test out and play. The more heroes they have, the better, because you can assign them to different squads, which increases your production. And so you can go ahead and just have better and more efficient resources going through it. Let me know down in the description below. Have you tested out? What are your thoughts of it? Do you like this style of game? And are you going to go ahead and test it out? I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.